What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the podcast. I usually don't talk about shit that be happening between celebrities such as P. Diddy because I strongly believe that it's all a big distraction with what's really going on in the world. You know, this propaganda machine, the media, everything that you guys are so accustomed to just pushes out crap that makes you forget about what's really going on in the world. So today's podcast is going to be about the whole P. Diddy situation and how I believe that this is being used to
distract people
from the truth,
serve a deeper purpose than just accusing him of what he has done. And I am not condoning what P. Diddy did. If P. Diddy is, guilty for all the shit that supposedly he did, it's wild. I feel like he should be punished, and I feel like throw his ass in jail because, supposedly he molested children and did so many other sinister things that I'm not really going to talk about because I'm pretty sure y'all heard about it. A lot of people do podcasts about what's going on with P. Diddy and, everything that Cassie said that P. Diddy did to her and all that shit. It's disgusting. I'm not going to talk about it because it's not relevant. But the thing that is relevant is the sinister strings that are behind this whole situation with P. Diddy. And I can't really put my finger on it, but a lot of my podcasts, I often try to portray this theme of elites controlling everything.
We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere.
So what if I told y'all that the fall of P. Diddy was never about the allegations, that this just may be another chapter in a long history of public executions, and not with bullets, you feel me, but with headlines? Because if y'all think about it, here's the thing: powerful men don't fall unless someone more powerful decides it's time. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of want to rewind, before these lawsuits and these accusations, hit the mainstream and all that shit. Because, when I open up TikTok, when I open up IG, when I open up YouTube, that's all I see is all these allegations and all these lawsuits against P. Diddy. And it's just like everything that I've been hearing is so vile. It's so disgusting that he did to all these
innocent women.
At the same time, I feel like these women had, I don't know. I just don't believe that they were being held hostage because somebody with such a high profile as P. Diddy can get in trouble so quick. If one of these victims would have, accused him of doing what he has done, you feel me? So I'm just like, couldn't have Cassie got up and leave, run away, call her family, have her family rescue her. So that's one of the things that was just popping up in my head. It's like, damn, why were they so, stuck inside of this sausage fest? All you gotta do is call the police and, P. Diddy will get in trouble. But yeah, I'm not gonna get too much on what I think about this whole situation. I just want to talk about, again, the theme of elites controlling everything that you guys are seeing.
Oh, you want feelings? Well, I have something for that. Dr. Jinx got something for feeling.
So whispers were already growing and Diddy pretty much started making noise, you feel me? And not the kind of noise that sells records, but the kind that shakes boardrooms, the kind of noise that gets you silenced. I'm talking about him exposing the deals, the rituals, the control structures, the gates you must pass through to become a billionaire in an industry owned by the few. So let's tie this with the music industry. Music nowadays is not really about talent. It's about obedience. It's about who will pretty much sell their souls and obey.
Show your soul! You understand me? Show your soul!
And when someone at the top starts turning against it, the machine reacts. So let's look at the pattern right quick. Michael Jackson, I did a video or podcast about him, how he tried to expose Sony, and what happened after that? He was gone. And Kanye West, as soon as he started calling out the hidden hands, what happened to him? And now with Diddy, all of a sudden, he's a monster. But again, let me be clear. If he did any of these things, he should absolutely face the consequences, because I am not condoning anything that he has done, because like I said, everything that he's being accused of is absolutely disgusting. But the timing, the selective outrage, that's what's suspicious to me. In a lot of my podcasts, I like to talk about timing and how things happen at a certain time during a specific event in history. For example, what's going on in Palestine and Israel, what's going on in Ukraine and Russia. And let's just talk about what happened yesterday. Russia's airbase lost $7 billion worth of military equipment, warships and all that shit, and they're really mad at Ukraine and America. And I just feel like with this whole P. Diddy situation, people are not going to be focusing on what's going on in Russia. They're going to focus on what's going on with Diddy. So like I said, it's just the grabbing of your attention is what really stands out to me. So let's move on.
Please like and subscribe.
Where were these lawsuits 10 to 15 years ago, during the time when the industry was still protecting him, when P. Diddy was still obeying? So why now out of all of a sudden? So maybe because he started talking too much, maybe because he saw too much, maybe because he knew things about Epstein's circle that got him caught up.
Man, he's a deep shit.
Maybe because he knew things about Epstein's circle, about the handlers behind the celebrities that people worship, about the price of fame and what people do to get famous. You feel me? So it's crazy. Maybe Diddy became a threat, not to the people, but to those who he's supposed to obey. So they flipped the switch on his ass, you feel me? So it's just like, that's what happens when you bite the hands that feed you. Shit like that happens.
Somebody's watching me. I think it's P. Diddy.
Because when you control the media, the courts, the public opinion, you don't need to assassinate someone physically. You just need to assassinate their character. And it's just fucked up, because I really feel bad for P. Diddy's family. And just imagine your dad getting caught up with that, and you gotta live the rest of your life being called Diddy Jr. It's fucked up to think about that, but hey, that's the price you pay. You feel me? When you have a family, you don't only put your character on the line, but you put your family security on the line as well. It's crazy.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
So is Diddy being punished for what he did or for what he knows? Because in a world built on silence, the loudest man in the room oftentimes gets cut off first. And I feel like P. Diddy was just talking too much. I just feel like he felt that he was protected and that he was on the top, but what comes up must go down eventually. So maybe that's what happened. One of the biggest conspiracies around Diddy is the claim that he hosted or was part of secret Hollywood parties involving drug use, underage individuals, celebrities being recorded in compromising situations. And I mean compromising situations.
Cause this show is some freaky shit.
And some other things, but many theorists believe that Diddy's homes and events were used as elite grooming traps, and executives would be lured, intoxicated, recorded, then controlled through blackmail. So think about modern day Epstein Island, but in the music scene. He either wanted to get out or threatened to expose who attended, what happened, and who really pulled the strings.
This is crazy.
It's said that Diddy, like many high-level artists, took the oath to enter the upper circles of elite control. This allegedly involves participation in humiliating rituals, sacrifices, symbolic or literal, submission to secret societies such as Freemasons and all that. According to this theory, Diddy violated this oath by becoming unpredictable, refusing to comply with demands, possibly threatening to expose names connected to trafficking, child abuse, or satanic rituals.
We will capture this P. Diddy.
He challenged the system that made him. Diddy started talking more about ownership, independence, and financial freedom, similar to what Kanye and Michael Jackson did before their backlash. So in this conspiracy, Diddy's downfall is a punishment for trying to buy major networks or labels, pull artists away from their elite-owned system, speak out about the media, politics, and music industry that are interlinked and manipulated by
The higher power.
Some believe Diddy, through his deep industry ties, learned how hip-hop was weaponized by the government, how private prisons invested in gangster rap to increase incarceration rates, which pretty much brought them more monetary value. They claim that he started to question this or intended to speak up, which made him a threat. In conclusion, the conspiracy is not that Diddy's innocent, but that he's guilty of the same sins that they all commit. Yet he's the one that's being sacrificed because he started moving out of line. Because once you stop being useful to the machine or start threatening its secrets, it turns on you.